Probably about 40 to 50% of what we see at our UFO sighting events are objects without tethers. Sure, some of them look like balloons, but don't you think it's kind of strange? Because in order for them not to have a tether, something had to have happened to them. There's this thing called field of view. We can only see things like balloons about a mile and a half. And then you have to know that they drift. So if you think about it, they are only in our field of view for a very short amount of time. So you have to think, we just happen to be in the right place at the right time to be able to capture a, quote, balloon that just happens not to have a tether. At our UFO sighting events, we will see anywhere from 10 to 30 objects other than planes in the sky. So this is kind of what it comes down to. We just happen to see anywhere from 5 to 15 things without tethers. Personally, I think it's crazy that we see one thing flying over our heads unless we're having an event next to Disneyland. I think the problem for most of us is that we live in the world of possibilities rather than probabilities. For example, what are the chances you go outside right now, look up in the sky, and see a balloon? For a store-bought balloon to be tetherless, something had to have happened in order for it to be tetherless. It would have to be pulled off or cut off, right? Do you think your chances of seeing a tetherless balloon is about the same as seeing a tethered balloon? So what are the chances of you going outside right now, looking into the sky, and taping a tetherless balloon? What if you hung out for a few hours? Think you would see one? Maybe the debunkers should try this. I think there has to be a cognitive dissonance or internal struggle or something that counterintuitive on what we are doing. Isn't it interesting that we choose a time and a place and we call for them to arrive at our location and they show up? Not just one or two, but a whole bunch. Not just the ones with tethers or without tethers and clusters. We get flybys, objects shooting by other objects. It's an incredible phenomenon. Honestly, the debunkers shouldn't knock this until they try it. To be honest, I think that some of the debunkers would be good at this. 3 things have to happen before they start showing up. Number 1, it's got to be safe for them. They don't want to be chased around. I don't blame them. Number 2, they got to trust them. Number 3, they got to be ready for it. I believe many of the debunkers and skeptics have seen one, and what they see on our videos doesn't fit into what they ended up seeing. But this tells me that they revealed themselves to them because they were trusted. Some of these debunkers have to go to where it's safe and be ready for them to show up. I think these people are very close. Trust is the hardest part. So here is a video I made that shows what needs to happen in order for a tether to fall off a foil balloon. This balloon is from the dollar store. These tethers are attached with high adhesive tape. Here it is. Okay, today we're going to do an experiment with tether attachment. Just purchased this one over at the dollar store. So I'm hoping you could see it. The tape ends up going up to about right here. It ends. So basically this tether is just 3/16 of an inch thick, is just adhesed. And I think that some of the others, like over at Party City, have a better adhesive technique. But it looks like this one has just been, I guess this one's standard when it comes to the Dollar Tree, but it's attached to this bucket, and I haven't weighed the bucket yet, but we're going to find out how much this tether with this Scotch tape can hold, because I'm going to fill up this bucket, and we'll see how many pounds it can actually withstand. So what I've done is I attached this clamp to a stick, and I'm going to suspend it between 2 chairs, okay? And I'm hoping you could see, but the Scotch tape ends underneath the attachment and where the stick is. So it shouldn't be putting any pressure at all on the adhesiveness of that Scotch tape and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to start filling up this bucket and find out what's the tensile strength of this Scotch tape, you know, holding on to this. I just wanted to find out. Before we begin, I just kind of wanted to show you how this setup is. So basically, the stick is suspended between the two chairs, and then the bucket, currently empty, but does weigh some poundage here. And you could see that the Scotch tape is holding up the tether, holding onto the tether. I just want to know how many pounds it will take to tear this thing off. Obviously, it's not coming off with the amount of weight that's on it now. Alrighty. Okay, we have 9 bottles here, representing approximately a little more than 9 pounds of weight here. We have the bucket. We have the bucket and the tether, and the tether attachment. We're going to be putting in the water bottles one at a time. Let's not waste any time. Let's do it. So we have one. Looks like the sticks may end up giving out, but we have 4 pounds right now. We have 4 pounds holding up. This is, how's the tether holding up? Looks like it's holding pretty strong. Let's put in another one. Okay, here we go. Right now we got 5 pounds. Got 5 pounds on this one. Looks like the tether's holding up pretty good. Not sure if you could see that. It's holding up pretty good here. Let's do 6 pounds. 6 pounds here. Hope. Oh boy, I think this. I think the sticks are gonna break. I think the sticks are gonna break. It looks to me that the tether's holding on pretty good there. It looks like though the sticks are gonna break. The stick is gonna break. So the wood stick is gonna probably break before the I'm putting in another one. Uh-oh. Looks like the sticks are maybe break. Okay. The stick is gonna break before the tether comes off. Alrighty. So anyway, here it is. We got 7. We have 7 here. Looks like the stick is gonna break. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put the 2 chairs a little bit closer together because this is gonna give out. Okay, I just tried to adjust. Because the stick was on the verge of breaking. Anyway, I tried to adjust it and the tether popped off. So there's the tether. It popped off, and it took how many? It took 7. It took 7 pounds. Probably could have put on another. Pound. Anyway, let's weigh it. See what we come up with. Alright, so here we're going to do the weigh-in. Basically we have the 7 bottles here, plus the bucket. And the bucket weighs, what is that? 12.1 ounces. So let's do the math. Okay, so we did the math. So we did the math on this one. Each bottle is 18.5 ounces. The adhesive held 7 bottles. 18.5 times 7 bottles is 129.5 ounces. You add the bucket, which was 12.1 ounces. You add those ounces all together, it's 141.6 ounces or 8.85 pounds. So the tether held almost close to 9 pounds. and I'm wondering what would end up happening if I, this is like sustained weight over a period of time too. So it's just kind of interesting. There you go. So I think the only other way that this thing would end up coming off is to cut it. Chances are, if you tried to rip the tether from the balloon, you would probably pop it. Maybe if you tied it to a tampon bowling ball, it would slowly yank the tether from its taped adhesion. Or possibly, just before the children decide to let their balloon go, mothers would run over with their scissors and snip it off instead. Possible? Not probable. When we call, they come to our location. This is an undeniable fact. This is not magic or an act of supernatural powers. This is an undiscovered science. Many of the UFO communicators believe that they are aerial debris mimic anomalies, mechanical observers, or atmospheric animals. Please come join us at our UFO sighting event. Please join LA UFO channel on meetup.com. This could be one of the greatest discoveries of the 21st century.